Welcome back to our series on simple ways to pass your MOT. This is part 2, and today we're diving into some of the biggest culprits for MOT failures: your tires, wheels, and a few easy checks under the bonnet. The great thing is, you don't need any special tools or mechanical knowledge for these. All it takes is a few minutes of your time and a good look at your car. Let's get started. First up, tires. It's no exaggeration to say that tire issues are one of the most common reasons cars fail their MOT. So, let's make sure yours aren't one of them. We'll start at the front tire on the driver's side. The first thing to check is the tread depth. In the UK, the legal minimum is 1.6 mm, and this needs to cover the central 3/4 of the tire's width, all the way around. Now, you don't need a special gauge for a quick check. A 20p piece is a classic trick. Pop the coin into the main tread grooves of your tire. If you can see the outer band of the coin, your tread is likely getting low, and it's definitely time to get it professionally checked. If the tread looks visibly shallow, or even close to being smooth, that's a huge red flag. It's not just about passing the test, it's about safety on the road. While you're down there, inspect the sidewall of the tire. That's the side bit, not the part that touches the road. You're looking for any signs of damage. This includes cuts, cracks, bulges, or any lumps. Also, check if you can see any of the internal cords or wires sticking out. Any of these things can mean an instant MOT fail because they compromise the tire's structural integrity. Even a small bulge could lead to a dangerous blowout. So, run your hand carefully around the sidewall, when it's stationary of course, and feel for any abnormalities. Right, now let's move over to the front passenger side tire. You're going to do exactly the same checks. First, look at the tread depth. Does it look consistent with the driver's side? Sometimes uneven wear can indicate other problems like wheel alignment issues. Then, give the sidewall a thorough inspection for any cuts, cracks, or bulges. It's important to be systematic and check each tire with the same level of attention. Now, on to the rear tires. People often forget about these, but they are just as important and are checked just as rigorously in an MOT. So here we have to repeat the process. Check the tread depth on the rear driver's side tire, then inspect its sidewall. Then, move to the final tire, the rear passenger side, and do the same. Checking all 4 tires properly only takes a couple of minutes, but it could save you the hassle and cost of a retest. While you're at each wheel, take a quick look at the tire pressure. While a slightly underinflated tire might not be an automatic fail, a tire that is obviously flat or very low on air will definitely raise concerns. It suggests a potential puncture or a faulty valve, and it can also affect how the car performs in other parts of the test, like the brake checks. Most petrol stations have an air pump you can use for £1 or so. Your car's correct tire pressures can usually be found on a sticker inside the driver's door jamb or in your owner's manual. Okay, let's move on from the rubber to the metal. The wheels themselves. For each wheel, you want to check for any significant damage. If you have alloy wheels, look closely for any cracks. Minor scuffs and scratches from curbs are usually just cosmetic and won't fail an MOT. But a crack is a structural defect and is a definite fail. A cracked alloy wheel can fail catastrophically, which is incredibly dangerous. Next, and this is another common failure point, check that all the wheel nuts or bolts are present. Look at each wheel and count them. If your car should have 5 nuts, make sure all 5 are there and look reasonably tight. A missing wheel nut is an MOT failure, no questions asked. It suggests the wheel may not be secure, which is a major safety risk. Also, make sure your wheels have the correct nuts or bolts for them. Sometimes people fit aftermarket wheels without changing them. While you're checking the nuts, Give the whole wheel a general look over. Does it look straight and properly aligned? It's not a scientific check, but if a wheel is obviously wonky or looks loose, that's something that needs professional attention before the MOT test. Right, let's pop the bonnet. Finding the bonnet release lever is your first task. It's usually inside the car, down in the driver's footwell. Once you've pulled that, there's normally a secondary safety catch at the front of the car, under the bonnet itself. Once it's open, make sure you secure it properly with the stay. If you're not sure how, your car's handbook is your best friend here. With the bonnet open, the first thing to do is have a general look around for any obvious fluid leaks. You don't need to be a mechanic and identify what each fluid is. Just look for drips on the components below, puddles forming on the undertray, or wet patches on the engine block itself. Any significant leak of things like oil, coolant, or power steering fluid can be a reason for failure. Now for some specific fluid level checks. Let's start with the engine oil. Find the dipstick. It usually has a brightly colored handle, often yellow or orange. Pull it all the way out, wipe it clean with a bit of kitchen roll or an old rag, then push it all the way back in. Wait a second, then pull it out again. Now look at the end. You'll see two marks, usually labeled min and max. The oil level should be somewhere between these two marks. If it's below the minimum, you should top it up. Extremely low oil might not be an instant MOT fail on its own, but it suggests a problem like a leak or high oil consumption that the tester will note. Next up, the engine coolant. This is usually in a semi-transparent plastic container, often with a blue or black cap. You should be able to see the fluid level through the side of the tank. Just like the oil, there will be min and max lines. The coolant level should be between them. A very important safety note here: only ever check the coolant level when the engine is cold. If you open the cap when the system is hot and pressurized, scalding hot fluid can spray out. If the level is very low, it could cause the engine to overheat during the MOT's emissions test, which could lead to a fail. Now, let's find the brake fluid reservoir. This is another small, semi-transparent container, usually located towards the back of the engine bay on the driver's side. It will also have min and max markings. The fluid level must be between these marks. Brake fluid is critical for your safety. If the level is below the minimum, it's an MOT fail and indicates a potential leak in the braking system, which is extremely serious. Finally, while you're under the bonnet, take a look at the car battery. The main thing the MOT tester will check is that it's secure. Grab hold of it and give it a gentle wiggle. It shouldn't move around. If the battery is loose in its tray, it's a fail. A loose battery could potentially short-circuit or get damaged. Also, check that the terminals are tight and not excessively corroded. Before you close the bonnet, just do one last visual sweep. Are there any loose wires or pipes dangling? Does anything look obviously broken or out of place? You'd be surprised what a quick look can reveal. Once you're done, lower the bonnet and make sure it clicks shut securely. Give it a little push down to be sure it's fully latched, and that's it. Taking just 10 to 15 minutes to go through these tire, wheel, and under-bonnet checks can genuinely be the difference between a pass and a fail. You've just checked off some of the most common failure items yourself, for free. Thanks for watching part 2 of our series. In our final video, we'll be covering the last few essential checks you can do at home, including seat belts, brakes, steering, those pesky dashboard warning lights, and the exhaust. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. See you in the next one. Together we will get it fixed.